This is a real AWS bill, $14,700 in a month, and 80% of it comes from S3. The worst part? Most of it could have been avoided with one setting most developers never touch. Most people think of S3 as a file system with folders. It isn't. S3 is a flat namespace of objects, each with a unique key. What looks like a folder structure in the console is just a visual rendering of slashes in the key name. This matters because pricing, performance, and lifecycle rules all operate on keys, not folders. Let's break down the 5 storage classes. First, S3 Standard, 23 cents per gigabyte per month. Retrieval is free and instant. This is for data you access frequently. Your hot data, your application assets, your active data sets. Second, Intelligent Tiering. Same price as Standard, but S3 automatically moves objects between hot and cold tiers based on access patterns. No retrieval fees. Perfect when you genuinely don't know how often data will be accessed. Third, Standard IA, infrequent access. 12.5 cents per gigabyte, but retrieval costs a penny per gigabyte. The trap. If you retrieve more than 50% of your data in a month, you've paid more than Standard. Use this only for data you touch less than once a month. Fourth, Glacier Instant Retrieval, 4 cents per gigabyte. Retrieval still happens in milliseconds, but costs 1 cent per gigabyte. Built for archive data that occasionally needs to come back quickly. Backups, historical reports. Fifth and cheapest, Glacier Deep Archive, less than 1/10 of a cent per gigabyte. But retrieval takes 12 to 48 hours. This is for compliance logs you legally have to keep for 7 years, but realistically will never read. Every byte you store is in a building like this, running 24/7. The reason storage classes exist is simple. Different hardware, different costs. This is where the real money is. Lifecycle policies let S3 automatically move objects between storage classes as they age. Here's a concrete example. You generate application logs. On day 0, they go to Standard. You're actively debugging. At day 30, they move to Standard IA. You rarely look at them. At day 90, they drop to Glacier Deep Archive. You're only keeping them for compliance. The math is stark. 1 terabyte in Standard for a full year costs $276. The same terabyte with this lifecycle rule costs $24.40. That's a 91% reduction. Setting this up takes 5 minutes. It's a JSON rule in your bucket lifecycle configuration. You define prefixes, transitions, and expiration dates. AWS handles the rest automatically. 3 things developers consistently get wrong with S3. First, putting hot data in infrequent access. If you're accessing it more than once a month, you're paying retrieval fees that eat your savings. Standard is cheaper. Second, forgetting to abort incomplete multi-part uploads. When a large upload fails, S3 keeps the partial data indefinitely. It's completely invisible in the console. Add a lifecycle rule to abort incomplete uploads after 7 days. Third, enabling versioning without expiration. Versioning is powerful for safety, but every version of every object is stored separately. Without expiration rules, your bucket size grows exponentially. Add a non-current version expiration rule. S3 is the cheapest part of AWS when you use it right. In the next episode, we go up the stack, what MLOps actually means in 4 layers. Subscribe to follow the series.